Wonder what these circles are. But out here on the arch, it is literally planted right into the rock. Looks to be the original height of the rock. That much of the rock. This is a rock and there's a big hole in it. That is a lot higher up than I thought I was walking across. Florence, y'all. We have some geese flying by. That's a huge amount of them for me to see. Looks like we might have 2 V's up there. We're passing the Walton Water Tower. We're on 75 South. This is the Dry Ridge Water Tower. They got it painted nice red, white, and blue. And we just got passed by the state police. 18 Williamstons. Welcome to Williamstown. Gateway to the Bluegrass. Passing by, little opening on the side. State troopers got somebody pulled over. He got the bug pulled over. Skybridge recreational area. Day use area open, no camping. Got these crazy looking webs all over the place. We're here in the Daniel Boone National Forest. Here you can see one of the overlooks. Here's a spot where you can sit on a rock. People have been carving into these rocks for many years. Definitely an interesting spot. Probably a good distance down there. I don't plan on going down that far. And we're heading back out to the car now. Let's see if we can make it to the arch. Alright guys, we're here at the Swift Creek Overlook, Gilfty Wilderness, River Gorge Geological Area. It's a pretty good view. You could probably see for a mile across over here in the gorge. The rugged area before you is 13,000 acre cliffy wilderness. It is one of 2 federally designated wildernesses in Kentucky, set aside by Congress in 1985. This area is protected by the Wilderness Act of 1964. It protects one of the most biodiverse areas in North America. This is an arch formation river top area creator. And we're off again to see if we can find the Skybridge parking area. There's the picnic area for the Skybridge, and just around this corner we should be coming up to the parking for the Skybridge. 600 feet away we are going to be in the Skybridge parking. Guys, we have now parked and we're going to be walking down to the wilderness area to check it out. Alright guys, we're walking down here to the arch. We're going to see how it is. Nice parking lot, easy to get to. Alright guys, we're walking down to the trail here. It's a pretty wide path. I would say it's an easy access. So here at the trail entrance, they have a little sign letting you know that this is a wonderful photo opportunity. There's no camping or bicycles allowed. Alright guys, we're here at the entrance. The Skybridge Trail 214. Top of Skybridge Arch is a 1/4 mile. Below Skybridge Arch 1/4 mile. The loop is 3/4 of a mile. And we're gonna be headed that way. Alright, we're about 100 feet down the trail now, and we're coming to this overlook here. Perfect view, you can see pretty well over the edge. Got a old-timey fence here, 3-rail with some stone pillars, and some people think that this is a place to write their name because there's names written into them. Up here a little bit, there's a nice little clearing where we can step off to the side, and we'll be able to look maybe down or over. Pretty good view here. All right guys, just off the path here, we found a pretty good spot to check out. You can walk over to the edge here, a couple little trip hazards, but you can see that this is a nice spot where people have been going down to, hanging out. Cleared off pretty well. Not too bad of a view from this spot. All right guys, we've just walked about another 200 feet and we've come to this nice bench here. Again, this is another place where people like to write their name. And just to the side of this one, now this has got a wonderful view. Goes for a long ways out there. It does look pretty nice here. Let's turn it around and give you guys a better view of what's behind me, which is not much. Off in the distance, great view. Oh, you can actually see the river from here. Just down here to the far edge is the gorge and the river. You have a little tree here somebody's cut off and people have made a walkway down here and it is slippery. But once you're down here, it does feel comfortable with that logs right in front of you. I would definitely say this is a stopping spot. As you can see here, very beautiful area. All right guys, we're just walking along the trail here. As you can see, it's a very easy walking trail. It's been asphalted, makes a nice stroll for somebody with disabilities. So I would say this is definitely an accessible walking trail to the arch, worth every bit of the drive. I'm gonna keep moving here, see how long it takes us to get around to the top of the arch. I do hear some noise off in the distance. Sounds like water or maybe a vehicle driving by. But as we continue this way, it looks like we're gonna be coming up to the arch. I do believe this is the top of the arch, guys. We've walked about a quarter mile and we're back at another one of these fences. Let's give you guys a little view of the fence. As you can see here, this fence, people love writing their names on it. Not sure why they feel the need to damage public property, but it gives it a little bit of interestingness to it. Now we're coming up to the arch here. Let's turn you guys around so you can see a little view of this. Pretty cool looking spot for the arch. And we'll go down here and set the camera out and we'll do a little walk across it. Tell you how it feels. Some steps here to go down. Pretty big steps, not to code, but we made it. And we're coming here along to the top of the arch. Just had a butterfly go by us. So at the arch, you'll notice there's a lot more graffiti in the top of it where people feel the need to inscribe their names. Hopefully most of those are from 50, maybe 100 years ago. Well, we're gonna go off to the side here. We're gonna check out this viewing spot. Wow, where you can see underneath it. Pretty good. Oh, beautiful view right here. You can see underneath it. Great view of the arch. This would probably be the better selfie spot. So we're gonna walk across the arch. Here we have an 81 to 98 JJG. We have a good amount of graffiti up top. Wonder what these circles are. Maybe they're water pitting. So here we're walking across the natural arch. There's a little bit of an illusion here that this tree, I would assume that this is what those circle pits are. There was some kind of crusting on it and it has since then wore off. This is a great spot here. You can see, wow, this arch is long. And I think I'm out of the camera view, so let me go back and get the camera. So if I was coming from the opposite direction, this would be coming up the arch. I am walking up the arch now. Magnificent view, 360 degrees here around of the gorge. It does make your hands sweat a little bit walking on this thing. So we're gonna be taking a stroll across the arch here. We're gonna put some glasses on, it's getting bright. So here we're walking across the arch. Beautiful view, lots of graffiti on it. As you can see, people have scribed their name, every known location almost. Many of them have been wearing off. But out here on the arch, there's a beautiful view of 360 degrees. Right here you can see this beautiful tree growing up beside it. Continue along some more and you can see here is about halfway across this direction. And this arch has a large viewing area. Right here, we're gonna turn the camera around and do a little spin. Here guys, you can see I'm standing on the center of the arch in one of the better viewing spots. It does have a pretty nice sight. All right, we're gonna continue along a little more, turn you around and show you what we're gonna be walking towards. Arch continues here some more. Couple little steps, gives you a Oh, there's a tree growing in the side of the arch here, literally right into the rock. And you can see down that way, that is a long ways down to the bottom of that gorge. Very, very deep. And then, so as you can see, I'm standing here next to a tree that is literally planted right into the rock. It does give you a nice safe spot to hold on to look over the edge, because my hands sweat by getting too close to the edge. Oh, this is interesting. So very interesting. Here looks to be the original height of the rock. That much of the rock has worn away. It does continue a little more here when we come up to another area of a nice clearing, a little more graffiti, maybe an alien head. And this would be your spot to do a spin here. Nice 360-degree view all the way around here. Does look great. If you look out here, you can see an amazing difference. All right, and we're gonna continue along here to our next little viewing spot. And now we've exited the top of the bridge. Looks like we're coming here to a narrow footpath to lead you along this could be still part of the arch. It does look to be at one time, ground could have been that tall. We can see some spots here where the ground is lifting up, the trees are uprooting. We have gone a little over half a mile now maybe. We're about almost off of the top of the arch. Let's give you a view of the other side. And here we are coming to the exit or the entrance, depending on where you started on the arch. If you look over here to the side, we do have some of the original rails that were protecting this thing for the last 50 years. Nice view off into the distance of the arch. I would say that this is a place worth coming to visit. You do get some pretty beautiful views. Chimney Rock here off in the distance. Fallen Cliff. I don't really know the name of that one, but I made that up. And if we come over here to the other side, we do have another beautiful view down into this gorge. So we have another beautiful view down here into this gorge. It looks to be 300-400 feet down. So now we're going to be continuing along the pathway, see what else we can explore along the way. Butterfly, black and yellow. 4 or 5 steps here. We do have a nice wall built out right here. And let's see, right here we do have a nice wall somebody built to keep the water from washing down the pathway and taking it out. As we continue this way, we're moving it along. Looks like we might have another black and yellow butterfly in front of us. Looks like we could have a side path here. Looks like a decent area to fall off of. So guys, we're moving along here in this area, going down a few steps here. Very nice, probably very original, I would imagine. And we've come to a split where this is either a runoff spot. I believe this is a runoff area right here. We can see down here at the bottom, we have some where the water will eventually come off this ledge here all the way down this, hit this area, and it diverts and washes down this pathway. The water that manages to make it over that will then continue down this path here for you. So the best thing is to make diversions for the water along the way to prevent extreme washout. Now we have come to a spot where there's a lot of washout. Let's check it out. So coming down these stairs here, and I wonder what happened here. There's a big washout. You literally can see this was asphalt. You can see this was asphalt, and the asphalt has washed away. All of this pathway is gone. Now that is what they call the power of water. We're continuing along this easy path here. I would rate this like a 3, 2. Oh no. We have another diverted path here. That sure does not look like a pathway. Let's go down there and check that out. This does not look like a pathway. We're gonna have to go check it out, guys. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 steps, and then there's a huge drop off. Who has been using this as a secondary route? Let's stick to the real path, guys. You gotta follow the right way. Ooh, look at these pretty flowers. So guys, we're gonna try to be smart. We're gonna follow the real path that contains the asphalt washout. I would assume this is gonna give us some better views than the shortcut. So we still have a view of this cliff over here. Looks pretty nice. And it looks like we're almost back to that shortcut. Looks like at one time they thought this was a good viewing area. So we've made it about part way around this way. I would say this part of the trail, it's all right. We're like on a nature walk. Most of the trees are 15, 20, 30 years old. So at one time, this probably was a open view with nothing along the way. And over the last 20 years, it has filled in and made the view not as much. So now we're looking at trees in the year 2025. All right, guys, we've made it around to the other side of the shortcut. Now you can see that was about a 6-foot drop. It looks a lot bigger from down here. Wise choices always stay on the path, because when you're a quarter mile away from help, it might take a few years for them to get to you. I mean, hours to get to you. And then they're gonna give you a pretty hefty bill for damaging their landscape. We got no scenic tour here. All right, guys, we come to this rock formation here on the side. I believe this will be the start of the natural bridge right here. So we're gonna continue down this path, which I believe is gonna lead us underneath the arch. We got another part of the natural bridge here. We have some hole formations. I think these are probably from the limestone wearing out. See, guys, this is a rock and there's a big hole in it. So along the whole way of this natural stone bridge, you can see the different layers where they're washing out. And then we're gonna be walking up the stairs here in a second. This is a nice spot in the shade. Some new modern stairs, I would think, being that they're wood. You get a little bit of a view from this area, not as much as you would expect, but it's summertime. Just going up another set of stairs here. This is all brand new construction. And here we're up next to the side of the natural land bridge. Here we're at the side of the natural land bridge. Looks like somebody might have had a fire here at one time, and it is permanently stained the bridge. We're gonna be continuing up this way, see if we can make our way underneath the bridge. I saw a lizard, just saw a little lizard here. A little bit of a sandy walkway. I wonder if this is natural sand and it's come out of all these holes, because this is a big piece of sandstone. 75, I saw that etched in the side. So more than 50 years ago, people were etching their names in this. The nice thing about this walk is it's pretty shady on this one side as you're coming along. Looks next to the natural land bridge, and here I believe I'm about to walk underneath it. So guys, we've come up to the natural land bridge here, and we're gonna give you a show underneath it. As we come up, these rocks here have more graffiti on them. People carve their name and everything. But by the looks of this, wow, that is a lot higher up than I thought I was walking across. This is one massive arch. Look at that thing. Look how big this arch is. Big old arch, massive thing. So guys, we've made it here to the arch. As you can see, it is a pretty big thing here. They did give you, so the walking path here has completely washed out. And as we come up the pathway here, they do have you a pretty nice arch over here to the right, which is like a little mini arch. I might only have a few more 100 years left. Lots of name carvings. So guys, here at the arch, you'll notice that it has got a pretty wide span, somewhere upwards of over 150 feet across, I would say, and it's 75 to 100 feet up. I could be exaggerating that by 50 feet. I want to say the top 75. Bottom's 30 feet up, 40 feet. But this arch over here does give you a nice little spot to come check out. You know, you can walk around here to the other side, get yourself a pretty cool little view of what's going on. A nice shaded spot. So you can see the arch does shape around here, and somebody painted their name or something. But here it does give you a very nice view over here. All right guys, we finished checking out here the arch. Now we're gonna continue back around to the beginning. As you can see, this thing was huge, very big arch, massive. Definitely recommend you guys coming to check out the arch whenever you get a chance, because it looked absolutely great. And I would definitely come here. It's a very short hike. Anybody's capable of coming here and seeing this magnificent part of the earth. And there's plenty of extra to see, lots of shade to keep you cool when you need. Lots of viewing spots, so there's no shortage of places to stop and check out here. You can see that this plenty of accessible walking with stairs, making easy access to all spots of the arch. And you can see we come along to this area here, which includes the entrance to the arch. As you walk along the top side, it's kind of hard to see how large this arch actually is. I recommend walking across the top first. It did make my hands sweat a little bit, but I did not realize the edge was that far down. And we might have just got dripped on. More graffiti. People can't keep their little fingies off the rocks. Completely just etched into the side. The problem is it causes erosion faster. Ooh, look at this. If you don't have a house, here's a pretty good spot you can move into. Probably sure it's dry most of the time. Might just have a few little critters inside there. But as you're walking along, you'll notice the pathway does have a lot of washout. Nothing bad. I think I would rate this trail a 2. 2 for difficulty, maybe a 1 for incline. Really not much difficulty here. A little warm. We have come to another section of the side of the natural bridge here that, as you can see, is a pretty large section. It is wore out very well on the side. Gives you a nice place to go up there and crawl and sleep, hide it out. These are all places that would be excellent to come visit if you are on a trip through Kentucky, anywhere up and down 75. This is just a short little drive through a nice mountainous road. I highly recommend everybody come here. All right, guys, we're gonna keep moving it along. We've got to get back to our car so we can go do the underground kayaking tour. Wow, here's we're back to another really magnificent spot where the land opens up and you can see these large rock formations with the canopy tree cover. Very beautiful spot. If I was a little bit better of a filmmaker, maybe I would do a walk through here, but I like to keep it moving. We're doing IRL, not re-editing. This is in real life, walking through a trail, guys. Anywhere you want to go. This place is pretty sweet around here. Lots of easy walking paths to go down. You'll notice that there's a decent amount of senior citizens here enjoying the large land bridge. Also some younger kids here enjoying the land bridge. So I highly recommend doing the top route first. This bottom route seems to be a little longer and definitely not as nice. I think I had more fun on the other side. Oh, look at this. Right here you can see this is a washout and I'm sure a pathway now. But it leads you to a huge section of this land bridge. Holy cow, look how big it is. Good spot for an echo. Hello, hello. Maybe if I got farther up in there. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go up here and check this out. I don't know where this goes. Not very far. Farther than I'm going. Hello. So this is a nice opening spot here. Some interesting looking spot. Nice big open area. Huge, huge cliff to stand underneath, get out of the rain. This is definitely a spot to check out and stop. Gives you a perspective of how small you might be. And now we're on our way back down. Try to make our way back to the car. Now we're leaving this overhang. We're headed back to our car. We're gonna be headed to the underground gorge soon to do a kayaking tour. We're leaving this overhang, headed back to our car. Hopefully we don't fall down trying to get off of that thing. All right, guys, so we've almost made it back to the beginning of the trail. Here we're coming up to a set of stairs. Looks like about 100 stairs maybe to go up. And then we'll be on our way to the underground gorge. That sure does not look like the pathway. Sure looks like people have been going over there though. Let's check it out. I'm willing to bet it's just another gorge spot you can go hang out in. It does look like that's what it probably is. Oh, here's another spot where you can hang out, get drunk, cause some mischief, stay underneath the overhang. Maybe when it's raining, this would be a great place to hang out and enjoy a few hours. Just chilling right here on one of these rocks, out of the rain. But today it's not raining. and we are headed back to the parking lot to check out the top of the, what happened? Here you go. We are headed back to the parking lot from this side trail. There wasn't much over there. Just another spot to sit underneath the rocks. All right, guys. Looks like this baby's washing out here quick. All right, guys. We're walking up the stairs here back to the parking lot. Looks like it's about 100 stairs you got to climb. It's a nice little exit. I recommend going across the top first, and then you get to go across this on the way out. Instead of walking uphill the whole time, you can walk downhill the whole time and then just climb. I think this might be 120 steps. Looks like I might be at the top. Oh yeah. Here we're at the top of the stairs. Cool little trees hanging over right here. All right, we're walking up this exit path. Should be leading us back to the trailhead. Not too far up the asphalt path here. Highly recommend going to this natural land bridge. Come check out this natural land bridge here in the Daniel Boone National Forest. It has got an exceptionally well-maintained path, and there's beautiful sights. More than 20 to 30 spots where you can stop and look out over the edges. Every bit of worth coming to check out, guys. I would say this path here is a little bit steeper than the other way. I would definitely go top route first. That way you can do this incline and just leave back to your car. Whew. So we made it back to the trailhead here where they said it was 3/4 mile loop, 1/4 mile in both directions. All right, guys, we made it to the beginning of the trailhead, or we call it the end. We're walking back up here to our car. That little bit of a stroll up those last pit really puts a number on you. All right, guys, we'll see you on the road.